Hey guys, it's StarrySky and welcome to this electric DPS video. Now this video is about an updated version of the electric overcharge loadout that I previously did. Now I've made a couple of changes to the loadout and to compensate basically for, I think, a slight flaw in it. Now the problem that was with it was doing nice damage, but I was finding that even though it was doing nice damage, some of the skills have a cooldown time, so if they're all on cooldown, I'm finding myself maybe just tapping a few grenades in between, where possibly if I had another skill I could be doing extra damage. So I'll go to loadout and I will show you exactly what I mean. So the previous loadout would have wired in instead of spark barrage, but this time I've taken wired out and I have put spark barrage in, because this is a instant and a spammable skill which I can use in between combos and power interactions while using it to do the extra damage to make up for the cooldowns. So as usual, the rotation is going to be, we're going to use Electrogenesis and clip it, and then we want to get off Overcharge as straight away, and then we want to go into our primary power interaction. Now the power interaction of this loadout is polarization, which is static push, and then it benefit electrostatic bomb and electrocute. And then when stuff is on cooldown between weapon attacks, we're going to be using spark barrage to make up for the extra burst damage. So a few things that will help out with this loadout is we want to cover single target and AoE. Now I have to say, I think this is possibly the best loadout for electric. It covers single target and AoE. Now the skills that split quite badly when there's a big amount is Electrogenesis and Electrocute. But since a static push will polarize everything in front of you, it makes up for the damage with using spark barrage. It'll compensate for the extra split. So again, a nice bit of extra burst damage instead of using wired. So, literally for AoE, what we're going to do is we want to use Electrogenesis and then we clip it, and then we would go straight into static push to polarize the big group of ads, and then we want to go straight into Electrocute. And then obviously we're going to go Overcharge and Electrostatic Bomb, and then we would spam Spark Barrage where everything else is on cooldown. Now if you're thinking there's no way to actually clip them because the wire's been taken out to clip Electrogenesis with, that's another change I've made. So I will show you. And if you notice, in the number 9 slot I have a consumable. Now the reason why I have this for is to help with the clipping of Electrogenesis or Electrocute. So obviously first of all I'm going to go Electrogenesis and clip it with the consumable, and then I'm going to go into the other rotation and so forth. Now the best weapons for this loadout is preferably the rifle. Now the reason why the rifle for is because it's a simple tap range and you can clip that with using a rifle, so we can get through our powers quick enough while still doing decent damage. Now other weapons that are still good are like hand blasters, you can use one-handed, all that kind of stuff, but preferably we want something that's quick and very clippable. So aka the rifle is preferably the best weapon for this. So let's equip the rifle. Now, as I said earlier on, I have taken wired out of it and I have gone into spark barrage. And when you'll see what I mean by using the consumable to clip it. So what we're going to do is going to go Electrogenesis and clip, and then use it clipping your consumable. And as you can see, the consumable does not even have a long cooldown time. So in the proper rotation you can use this quite frequently. So it's always a good idea to stack up on quite a few in your inventory. So let's hope I can actually put the whole kind of a rotation together and you'll see what I mean. So because first of all we always want to pop our trinkets. So literally, electro is clipped with consumable. As you can see, it is very power hungry. And you can see, you just generally get the idea of what the rotation is. Now normally with the rotation, if the old loadout of having wide in it, I was always like maybe having to do a couple of clicks during the cooldowns, and I was probably losing out on a bit of damage and dropping DPS compared to other powers. So with the additional replacement of wired and putting a spark barrage, I can now keep up with the DPS because I've got the extra skill to use for the extra burst damage. And as you can see, the cooldown on it is literally, use it, it's almost an instant cooldown. And you can even clip it just by jumping. So you can literally go spark barrage, jump, and it instantly clips it. Now also, the good thing about spark barrage is it will hit everything in front of you. So literally, it is a mid-range skill, so from about here, I think it's about here. So if you can imagine there's a big group of ads in front of you, this will hit everything. So this will make up for that cooldown of the damage that we missed before with wired.
Leave me alone.
So guys, let me know what you think about this, try it out and so forth though. And I am hoping to properly test this out in Nexus and Paradox and all that kind of stuff, because I do honestly think this is possibly the best loadout for it. It's very difficult to do this, especially with not a controller to power me. And there's always someone walking through. So let's go to find a different sparring target. But as you generally see, you get the idea of what it's going through. And you can imagine the damage this will be able to put out. So remember to use a consumable. Now this consumable I am using is the electrostatic pulse device. Now the reason why I'm using that one for is because it is a close range one, so you know, don't expect to make benefit of it though for extra damage or anything though, because I'm not exactly going to be point blank range to apply the power interaction. I'm mostly just using it to clip skills. So pretty much any consumable will do, apart from static grenade. For some reason that won't clip it, but anything like chronometric emitter, as you saw the electro one, maybe anything to do with polarize, and you know, make sure to farm plenty of them to keep them in your inventory. So let's go through, let's try it literally once again, and hopefully we might be able to get some good numbers out of it. Yeah, it's very, very power intensive. Very difficult to do without a controller to power me. But anyway guys, go try this out, let me know what you think, and let's hope that this loadout will be able to keep us up with the top tier of the rest of the powers. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, so until next time, I'll see you then.
Beware my power. Green Lantern's light!